Hey everyone, welcome to another match of Budget Temur Delver. Today we are playing Bug Infect. Oh yes. Oh yeah, not Simic Infect. Bug Infect. That's some spice there. I haven't seen Bug Infect in a while. Our opening hand was okay, thanks to Botanical Sanctum. Thoughtseize, don't really care what they take at this point. Storming Entity is not coming down anytime soon. We have some redundancy with Serum Visions. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. They don't want us to hit our land drop. We don't get a flip, but we get a land, which is actually pretty great. Definitely don't want those. So I attack in for one. It would make sense to play Hexdrinker here since I don't know what I'm playing against yet. Even if I did, I would still play Hexdrinker there. So I see Inkmoth Nexus and now I'm like, okay, probably Bug Infect. And we get a flip. Looks like our Stubborn Denials were all the way at the top of our deck, of our library. Alright, so we're going to attack in here with both. I strongly doubt our opponent's going to block our Hexdrinker. Oh, the smart thing. Okay, no, alright. No, our opponent decided to sacrifice their Glistener Elf. Alright. That was interesting. So I attacked him with Hexdrinker thinking, okay, there's a 95% chance they're not going to block. But no, it looks like they were willing to get rid of Hexdrinker. And I think I understand. Hexdrinker is a problem once it gets protection from everything. So we are continuing to miss our land drops here. Okay, looks like they are going to Abrupt Decay our Delver. Can't do anything there. So we'll play our Hexdrinker, and now the question is, do I level it up or do I keep mana open for Stubborn Denial? Knowing that we're playing Infect, you're going to keep that Stubborn Denial mana up. Especially since we don't have Disrupting Shoal, so can't do much. So they're going to attack in here for one, and obviously we're not going to do anything. If they decide to pump it up, we have a response to that. They don't. Play another Glistener Elf. Alright, I guess I see why they blocked. They just have a lot of redundancy. Hooting Mandrills is pretty decent, but we've been really short on lands here. It's kind of brutal. So let's see, our opponent does not block this time. That's fine by me. So in Mana Leak, we're going to be able to counter essentially anything they play. The Glistener Elf will, the Noble Hierarch will allow. Don't really want to waste a counter for Noble here. They know we have counter spells in hand, so they are most likely playing intelligently. So they're only going to pump when they know they can do something. They can protect the pump. Yeah, exactly. Alright. Not sure what the RNG gods are thinking. I'm assuming they think this is funny. Again, we can't really do much here. We're missing our land drops. And we're just not getting the cards we need. So here I'm contemplating, do I just level it up? Or do I just play Hooting Mandrills and that's it? So it looks like that's what I'm going to do. Alright, scale up is... yeah, it's going to get countered. I mean, we're going to try and counter it, but they're just going to pay for it here. And it's essentially going to be game. Yeah. Probably will concede here. Alright, well, that was a shitty game one. We didn't get any lands, honestly, and we didn't draw well. I don't think this is a knock against budget here. I think we just didn't really get what we needed. So we're going to bring in Blood Moon, because Blood Moon does a lot against Infect decks. Especially 3-color decks. 3-color Infect decks, or any 3-color deck, I guess. And that's essentially it. So our opening hand is okay, mostly because of the Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt and Manamorphose, Stubborn Annals. We have no threats though, and that's usually bad. Like, usually you want at least one threat in hand. But given that we're playing Infect here, Lightning Bolt actually goes a long way. Like right now. Now, normally I would wait before bolting Glistener Elf. Would wait ideally for them to play a pump spell and then we kill it. So they can also waste a pump spell on it. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So they're going to attack in. Let's see if they pump it. If they don't, it's fine. Okay. Yeah. Looks like I'm really eager to kill that Glistener Elf, but again, our opponent did nothing. So we're going to do an end of turn. See if they're willing to protect it during the end step. Whether we can counter their whatever spell they're going to cast now to protect it or not doesn't really matter. The point is they wasted it during a non-attack phase. So now we have lands, which is always a good thing. So we're going to start leveling up Hex Drinker here. The sooner we can get it to level 3, the better. You're going to see the difference of having lands, what it does to any deck really, but especially this one. As long as we don't draw any more lands here. Plague Stinger. Used to enjoy playing with Plague Stinger. Now I have to face it down. And Glistener Elf. Alright, so we drew more lands. Not really what I wanted, but alright. The good thing here is that we're going to get Hex Drinker to level 3, which is going to make it a 4/4. Which also means we can have 2 Stubborn Denials that are essentially counter spells for their non-creature spells. Alright, well, we drew another Spiral of Canal. Really not what we want. And we have a 4/4 Hex Drinker. Not going to attack in yet. The thing is, even if they blocked, Hex Drinker would no longer be 4/4 and then kind of negates the whole Stubborn Denial plan. Alright. Another Plague Stinger. So we're going to level up our Hex Drinker as much as we can here. Again, keeping up 2 mana, 2 blue mana for counters. But now that we're facing down a bunch of Infect creatures, it's not really looking good. Again, the downside of cards that come to the battlefield tapped. If we had the Catcher Triome untapped, we could have gone to level, well, at least level 7. Alright, third Plague Stinger. This is not looking good. We draw another Hex Drinker, not necessarily what we need here. So now we're going to attack in because honestly there's 3 flyers in the air. There's not much we can do here. The trick here is to survive this turn. Might of Old Krosa is going to get countered. This is the big turn. So everyone is coming in. Now I'm counting 4 Infect. If I choose not to block here, we win next turn. Assuming they don't have another creature to put on the battlefield. So I think I'm going to take back Hex Drinker and just allow everything through. If they have 2 more pump spells, it doesn't really matter actually because they only have 1 land free. So we're going to counter that. I think what I should have done was not block at all and just taken the extra. We draw Lightning Bolt. Alright. So, yeah, in retrospect, I should have just not blocked. And I would have won just through natural damage. Luckily here, we get a Lightning Bolt off of Ketria, and we go on to game 3. But I think the better play there obviously would have just been to not block at all. And just let the Infect come through. So it's kind of a lucky cycling there. So our opening hand here is decent. Not the best, because we're stuck on 1 land again, but it's decent. So I'm going to be very aggressive here and get rid of Noble Hierarch. Usually when I see land Noble Hierarch, I usually bank on the fact that they probably kept a greedy hand, meaning they probably don't have another land in hand. So that's what I'm banking on here. Okay, they had a second one. They might have just drawn it, but point is, it's going to set them back a turn. Thoughtseize is going to come down. Kind of obvious what card you want to take. Oh, okay, not. Reality Shift would have made more sense in my opinion, but... So our Delver of Secrets flips into an Insectile Aberration. We're going to swing in for 3. Our opponent's already down to 13. They have Pain lands, so don't really care here. We get Fabled Passage, which means we're going to get our land next turn, which is very, very annoying. But we have 2 removal spells, so let's see if we can do it here. Unless our opponent has, like, the kill here, we're going to win. Alright, they had nothing. We're going to get our Forest. Alright, Botanical Sanctum's actually fine. Let's attack in for 3. Abrupt Decay. Alright, that's going to put a damper on things. But now would be the time to actually kill Glistener off. Yep. Okay. Our opponent's down to 7. Now it's 6, now 5 for Plague Stinger. Alright. They are playing a very dangerous game here. So I'm going to get rid of Plague Stinger, yeah, with Reality Shift. Great card, by the way. I think it's going to be over here. Let's see. Alright, Noble Hierarch. Comes down to 4 life. Man, those pain lands really, really hurt. Definitely sticking, you know, giving some credence to their name. Alright, this is going to be game over. Blood Moon, which is kind of hilarious. I'd probably slam that next turn, even if I didn't have blue or blue mana. Blue an island, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. And Storming Entity comes down. We'll probably get a concession out of this. Yep. Alright, so we got rid of Bug Infect. That was interesting. Always nice to see Plague Stinger. I think overall, Budget Temur Delver is going to do fine against decks like Infect. you're really only going to be praying that you hit your land drops, essentially. You need to hit your land drops, whereas in a normal competitive version of Temur Delver, I mean, you could probably fix your mana so that if you're just stuck on 2, you can get by, and it's enough. But here, it's not. You really need to start hitting your land drops, turn 3, turn 4, hitting your 3rd land drop at least, ideally your 4th. And then you're more or less fine. Because again, a lot of the tools stay the same in your budget version. So yeah, I think decks like Infect are relatively good matchups, even in a budget version. Hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy my content in general, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Facebook if Facebook is your thing, facebook.com/silverbrews, I believe. There's a link in the description, of course. Big thank you to my patrons as well. Check out the link in the description if you're interested in becoming a patron. I have some pretty cool tiers set up where you are essentially guaranteed to get mythics and rares at the end of the year, which I think is pretty cool. So you get to support me and I get to show you my appreciation for it. So check that out. Thanks and have a good one.